Percy dreamed about Nico in Persephone's garden. He poured some root beer down a hole and began chanting something slightly familiar. Let the dead taste again. Let them rise and take this offering. Maria D'Angelo, show yourself! White smoke blew out of the hole, followed by a ghostly body. But the ghost wasn't his mother. It was his sister, Bianca. She warned him that his mother's soul was forbidden to be seen. The knowledge you seek will only hurt you, she said. Remember what I said, Nico. Holding grudges is a fatal flaw for children of Hades. I'm not the same as I used to be, said Nico. Stop trying to protect me. He swiped his hand through her, and she evaporated. Maria D'Angelo, speak to me! A different image formed, but not a single body. Percy saw Nico and his sister, and they both looked younger than Percy had ever seen them. He watched them as they chased each other around marble columns in what seemed like a huge hotel lobby. Sitting on a nearby sofa, dressed in a black suit, was Hades. Percy didn't know who the woman sitting next to him was, but she looked almost exactly like Bianca. Maria, my dear, please, Hades said. I don't care what Persephone thinks. The underworld may be the only place you and the children can be hidden from the rest of the Olympians. As he continued, he explained to her how a great prophecy had started to stir, and Zeus had forbade him from ever having more children again. Also that Zeus decreed Bianca and Nico to be sent to Camp Half-Blood. But Hades had feared that eventually it would only lead them to turning against their father. Or even worse, Zeus might decide to disintegrate them where they stood, preventing them from living long enough to turn 16. My brothers have already given me a deadline of last week to turn over the children, Hades continued. I cannot hide them forever. I've lost so many of my children to this war already. I cannot lose them too. And as long as you are with them, you are in danger too. You are a god, my love, Maria said. I know you will protect us. But I could never make Bianca and Nico grow up in the underworld. Well, I suppose there is another option, Hades said. There is a place in the desert where time stands still. I could send the children there just for a while, for their own safety. Then you and I could spend some time together, just the two of us. I'll build you a lovely golden palace by the Styx. Maria laughed gently. You are a kind and generous man, my love. The other gods, the whole world, should see you as I do, and they would not fear you so. But the children need their mother, and besides, they are only children. The Olympians would never dare hurt innocent children. You don't know my family like I do, said Hades. Maria, please, I cannot lose you. You will not lose me, my love. Wait for me while I get my purse. He watched her go down the hall, as if every step caused him more and more pain. A second later, he tensed, and the kids stopped playing, as if they sensed something too. No, Hades said. But as powerful as he was, he just didn't react soon enough. He only had enough time to create a black force field around the children just before a blinding light filled the room and the hotel exploded. The building was in ashes. There was nothing left. Hades wept over the broken form of Maria D'Angelo. Bianca and Nico stared at their mother, uncomprehendingly. The Fury Alecto appeared behind them, but they didn't seem to realize. Take them to the river Lethe, Hades ordered the Fury. Wash their memories clean, and then take them to the Lotus Hotel. They should be safe there. Zeus will not harm them there. And take their mother, and give her the ancient rites. Alecto and the D'Angelos dissolved into shadows, leaving Hades alone in the ruins. I warned you, a new voice said. Hades turned to see another small girl standing next to him. She had dark hair and seemed no older than 12. Percy wasn't sure why, but something told him he'd seen this same girl somewhere a few times before.
"You dare come here?" Hades growled. "I should blast you to dust."
"You know you can't," the girl said. "The power of Delphi protects me." With a chill, Percy realized he was seeing the Oracle of Delphi back when she was alive and young. Seeing her alive seemed even more spooky than seeing her as a mummy.
"Your prophecy brought us to this."
"I warned you to hide them sooner," the girl said.
"I couldn't," Hades argued. "Maria wouldn't let me. Besides, they are innocent."
"Nevertheless, they are your children, which makes them dangerous," said the girl. "Even hiding them away somewhere would only delay the problem. I only foresee the future. I cannot change it." Fire lit in Hades' eyes.
"Then hear these words of Hades," he said. "I may not be able to bring you to an early death any more than I can resurrect Maria, but your body remains mortal, and I still have the will to curse you. I swear, as long as my children remain outcasts, as long as I labor under the curse of your great prophecy, the spirit of Delphi shall never possess another mortal host again. You shall never rest in peace. No one shall ever take your place. Even after your death, the spirit of Delphi shall remain trapped in your body for eternity, and remain speaking prophecies until your body crumbles to nothing. The Oracle shall die with you."
The girl screamed, and the image ripped apart. Nico was on his knees, with a shocked expression. His father stood right in front of him, scowling.
"What do you think you're doing?" he said.
A smoky explosion changed the dream before Percy could see what happened next, and he saw Rachel sitting on a beach. She wrote letters in the sand, and with a shocked feeling, Percy saw she was writing in ancient Greek. She specifically wrote Percy's real name, Perseus, in ancient Greek, but for Rachel that had to be impossible. Then she ran back to her parents and seemed a little panicked for some reason. "Dad!" she called. "Dad! Dad! We have to go back!"
"Back? But we just got here," he said.
"There's trouble in New York. Percy's in trouble."
"Did he call you?"
"Well, no, not exactly, but I just know. It's a feeling."
"Rachel, your mother and I have been looking forward to this vacation for months now."
"Dad, you and Mom both hate the beach. You just act too stubborn to admit it."
"Rachel?"
"I'm telling you, something is wrong in New York. The whole city. I don't know what exactly, but it's under an attack."
"Rachel, if something like that were happening, I'm sure we would have heard it on the news by now."
"No, that's just the problem. It's that bad. Haven't you had any calls since the trip?"
"Well, no, but everyone knows I'm on vacation right now, and it is the middle of summer, so—"
"Dad, you always get calls. Even on Christmas. You gotta admit that's a little strange." Her father hesitated.
"Well, we can't just leave now," he said. "We've already spent a lot of money on all this."
"Daddy, please. Percy needs me. I have to deliver a message to him. It's a matter of life and death."
"What message?"
I just can't tell you. I promised I wouldn't say."
"Then we can't go."
"Look, I'll go to Clarion Ladies Academy, okay? I swear I won't complain about it, but you just have to get me to New York, now." Mr. Dare was silent for a long time. Then he picked up his phone and made a call.
"Douglas, prep the plane. We're heading for New York."
The last thing Percy saw was Rachel hugging her dad just before the dream faded. He woke up to find Thalia shaking him awake. "Percy, come on," she said. "It's late afternoon. We've got enemies just outside." It was rather dark out even for a late afternoon, probably because every inch of the sky was covered in dark clouds. almost as if the Olympians were trying to set the mood. It turned out that the enemies who were waiting outside were just a party of 4 under a flag of truce, standing just across the street. There was Ethan Nakamura, a Hyperborean giant, an Impusa, and an unusually tall man Percy had never seen before.
"Percy Jackson, at last," the tall man said. "Such an honor to finally meet you. I am Prometheus, the Titan of Fire."
You're probably wondering why Kronos sent me here, out of all people. Well, I happen to have a soft spot for heroes, you see. I know some of you can be quite civilized. Come, let's have a seat. He gestured to a picnic table right between them, which Percy was pretty sure wasn't there a second ago. Thalia and Grover remained standing on either side of Percy, in case of any funny business. "You must realize by now how much weaker your position has become, Mr. Jackson," Prometheus said. "You won't be able to stand against another assault." "We'll see," Percy said.
"Percy, I am the Titan of Forethought," Prometheus said. "I know what's going to happen.
I know what's going to happen the same way I knew Kronos would lose the last war. I know how to pick the winning side, and this time I'm siding with Kronos." "Because Zeus chained you to a rock?" Percy guessed. "Partly, yes. I'll admit I still want revenge, but that's not the only reason I'm supporting Kronos. It is the wisest choice. As to why I walked out here is because I thought you'd listen to reason." He snapped his fingers, and a map of Manhattan appeared on the table. "As you can see here," Prometheus said, "each X you see is where we have our armies. We know your numbers, and we outnumber you 20-1. "So your spy's been keeping you posted," Percy guessed. "At any rate, our forces are growing daily. By tonight, Kronos will attack. You will be overwhelmed. You fought bravely, but there's just no way you can hold all of Manhattan. Our armies will eventually force you to retreat in the Empire State Building, and there is where they will destroy you. I have seen this, and it will happen." This reminded Percy about his dream with Rachel's painting of an army at the base of the Empire State. He also remembered the words of the young oracle in his recent dream. "I only foresee the future. I cannot change it." And Prometheus spoke with such certainty, it was getting really hard not to believe him. "I won't let it happen," Percy said.
"Percy, you realize you are doing no better than when the Greeks attacked Troy."
"History always repeats itself. There is no denying it, almost like the way monsters are revived. The only difference in this war is that you are defending. You are Troy, and, well, you already know well enough how the Trojans ended up, don't you?" "So what are you guys gonna do?" Percy asked. "You gonna leave a wooden horse statue on the doorstep of the Empire State and just pray that we'll be stupid enough to bring it into Olympus?"
"Percy, Troy was completely destroyed," Prometheus said. "You do not want that to happen with this huge city. All I simply ask is this: stand down, and New York shall be spared. Stand down, and your forces will be granted amnesty. I will personally assure your safety. Just let Kronos take Olympus. Typhon will destroy the Olympians anyway.